In this tutorial, we're going to explore how to create a print-ready file in InDesign that has a full bleed. One of the most important things when producing a graphics file for print production is to be knowledgeable of what the final size of the printed product will be, and also whether it's going to have a bleed or no bleed. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new document. And as you can see, we can set our settings here. And if we go ahead and use the drop down, you'll see that you can create a letter size, legal size, tabloid, letter half, all the way down to a US business card size. Those are going to be your most popular file types that you'll be creating. In this tutorial, we're going to create a standard US business card sized file. Standard US business card size is 3.5 inches wide by 2 inches high. So even though we already have this in here in Pica, we're going to just retype it in just so that you can see. I'm going to type in 3.5 inches, and it's going to auto convert it into Pica, but we just need to make sure that it is understood that your business card dimensions are going to be 3.5 by 2 inches. Okay, we're not going to use the column function or the gutter function in this particular file, but our margins are very, very important. I actually normally try to not create a file that has a margin any less than 1/4 of an inch. I have seen some files that are created with 1/8 of an inch margin, but I normally try to stick within the 1/4 of an inch margin, just to be super safe that none of your type is going to get cut off, or none of your pertinent images are going to be cut off during the production process. Another very, very important setting in creating a business card or any type of printed file is your bleed. I've seen some beautifully designed pieces, but the bleed was all wrong. And if your bleed is not there and your margins are not there, your beautiful piece is not functional. Standard print production bleed is always 1/8 of an inch on all sides, top, bottom, inside, and out. Once you have these in, you'll press OK, and you see that you have a business card sized file. And what I'm going to do first, before we explore what we have here, I'm going to go in and change my preferences so that it's easy to see in inches instead of Pica. I'm going to change my units and increments in 2 inches. And now you can see that we have a file that is 3.5 inches long by 2 inches high. Your black here is going to be the edge of your card. This is going to be the final part of your card where everything is going to cut. If you go over here to your sidebar and go to preview, you'll be able to see that this is the final size of your card once it's designed. Okay? Everything in the red is your bleed, and it's very, very, very necessary to have this area in the red during the production process, because some of your very important information can get cut off and excluded from your beautifully designed card if this red area is missing. Your pink or purple, pinkish purple type area is going to be your safe zone. This is where you want all of your important information to be. Your telephone number, your logo, your address, and any type of information that you're going to put on this card, you want it all to fall within this pink and purple margin. The space in between the purple and the black is just mainly for background purposes. If you're going to have a picture, something that's going to run off the side of the card, you're going to want to utilize that for your quote-unquote white space, because white space is very, very important in a design. You don't want to fill every inch of your design with information. You want to leave some space there so that the eye can focus on what's important. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to create a rather simple card. I'm going to create a box and I'm going to color it in with, I'm going to say maybe red. And this will be the background of our card. Okay, then I'm going to create a text box. And this is just a simple, very, very simple design, just to kind of show, you know, what we're doing here. Obviously, this is not, you know, the best design in the world, but we just kind of want to show exactly what we're talking about. Because we have a red background, I'm going to create white text in bold. And I'm going to type in Joe's painting service. Okay, so Joe's painting service, and we're going to enlarge this until we reach our pink. Okay, then we're going to create another text box, and we're going to put Joe's telephone number, 555-2180. Okay, we're going to and Joe, that's going to be Joe's cell number, and 555-4829 is going to be Joe's office. Okay, and we will create another text box on this side here, and we'll give Joe an address of 42 Paint Way, Anytown, USA. Okay, so we have a business card. We have a very, very simple generic business card, but this business card does have a full bleed. So when we're finished producing Joe's business card, the final product will look like this. It will have a red background. The red will go all the way out to the edge of the card. We'll have bright, bold, white type on the card that's easy to read. Very easy to read. And obviously in a real graphic design, Joe may want some type of picture. He may actually have a logo to use. He may probably also want to add an email address or a list of services. He'll want a visually attractive business card, but for this particular tutorial, we are really just focusing more on the bleed and how to set up a full bleed business card. Okay, so the next stage of this tutorial is we're going to export this to PDF so that it is easily produced. So we're going to go to our file, and we're going to go to Adobe Presets, and we're going to go to High Quality Print. And we're going to save this to our desktop or wherever it is that you normally save your design files, and I'm just going to save this as Joe Paint BC. Okay, now after that, you're going to see your export Adobe PDF settings. You're going to go down to your marks and bleeds, and this is very, very, very important. Depending on the production process, some production facilities require crop and bleed marks, and some production facilities don't. So I'm actually going to show you how to apply crop and bleed marks, and then I'm also going to show you how to save a bleed file with bleed but with no crop marks. So here we're going to add our crop marks, and we're going to add our bleed marks, and we're going to go down here and use document settings, and then we're going to export. Okay, and I will pull up both files for you to see after we finish. Now the next thing I'm going to do is go back to our Adobe preset settings and go to high quality print. And I'm going to say Joe Paint BC, no crop marks. Okay. You're going to go to your marks and bleeds, and you're going to skip this here. We're not going to have any marks because let's just say, for example, our production facility does not want any crop marks. You go to use document bleed settings and export. Okay, so now we're going to go down to where we saved our file, and we're going to look at both options. Okay, so our first option here has crop marks. Your outer crops is the edge of the bleed, your inner crops is the actual bleed. And so during the production process, the production facility is actually going to cut along these lines here to create your final product. In this file, you have your extra bleed. As you can see that the final file is 3.75 by 2.25. This is 1/4 of an inch larger than your final product. And some production facilities prefer to add their own crop marks, which is perfectly fine. But at least you have that extra space. And I know it looks like there's too much space here and there, but rest assured it will be cut off during the production process. So this is a quick tutorial on how to create a full-blown business card file, and this applies to any type of file that you create, whether it's a flyer, a business card, a booklet, or anything of that nature. This is how you will create a print ready, high quality production file using InDesign.